Good evening. Before you continue watching this video, this is a heads up. The protest footage was lost, including the photos that were taken. If you don't want to watch the rest of the video, please, by all means, close the window, find something else. Right now. You got 3 seconds. Okay, on to the recap. There was a Scientology protest that happened earlier today from 12:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. As a nice recap, let's get into it. We got there. I arrived late due to, well, unforeseen circumstances, and we were basically positioned in front of the former Hard Rock Cafe at Dundas Square. It's closed now. There's no people traffic. Like, none. I got some photos which are lost, including all the footage, of the police on stage with the Scientologists at their drug-free marshals event at the square, which sucked dick. There was literally no one there. Maybe only like 5 or 6 people that just curiously walked into the square. Up to 20 people maybe. That was it. Maybe less than 100. It was boring for a bit until I started shouting using an old school megaphone that movie directors used before they actually used, an actual megaphone that takes batteries. It was just a tin thing with 2 holes, one in the smaller end and a big opening in the water end. You get the picture. This was very, very, very effective in conveying the message. That was also used in the Cambridge protest, which you've already seen, or if you haven't, you should see it. Unfortunately, I did not record that part due to a lack of a tripod, but it did get their attention. Back to the recap of this one. We then positioned ourselves after we had a bit of a discussion, and we moved to the part right in front of the Eaton Center, which is the best spot anyone could have a protest or demonstration or anything. We were right front and center. I had a complete great view of the stage, and I saw everybody. Well, we saw everybody. 4 of us, in general. We even got the support of 2 Christian groups, which is amazing. So, the next time Scientology has an event at the square, they might reconsider. They might, actually, they might not even be there next year. They might be gone. Gone, like, if you know what I mean. So, let's just speed past a few hours. Ding, diggity, dingity, dingity, ding. Done. Okay. We sped past them. Okay. Here comes the fun part. I continue shouting for the megaphone. Hopefully to get some of them to take notice and to maybe wake them up. I was mainly targeting the front group and educating people about it being Scientology in general. It worked. It caused people to leave the square. Some stayed still, but whatever. The bull baiting part was what am I saying? The Santa part and the hot chocolate, which I doubt they even had. They say they had it, but I don't think they had it this time, because only like 100 people filled the square and then left with my shouting, which, thankfully, it actually worked. I immunized so many people, some didn't even know it was a front group. With the shouting, it actually helped, because they looked at it, they looked across the street at us, and then they walked away from the square immediately. So, and that probably did actually, sorry, that probably did piss off the Scientologists. And so, 30 minutes left of the protests before 3 o'clock, they sent one of their goons to harass us. But before they did that, they actually harassed the Christian group. And they're two big guys, so they weren't going to stand for it, and he walked away. And then he came out of the Eaton Center part behind us and asked us to turn off and put away the cameras. Unfortunately, nobody did. He tried to grab the camcorder that I had set up on a tripod, but it didn't work. I didn't want to risk getting assaulted, so I didn't really engage too much, even though that's a stupid thing to do. The rule is not to engage with hostile Osobots and Scientology goons or operatives. Especially if they want to threaten violence. Because the guy mentioned that he wanted to break our necks. To break our camcorder, to take it and break it. We got footage of him before he asked us to shut it off. The camcorder was simply pocketed instead and left recording. That guy was indeed threatening, intimidating, and probably wanted by the police. And he actually said he'd take payment from anyone to beat the shit out of anyone. So, I got a pretty good guess. They probably paid him something to get rid of us, but it didn't work. We stood there, and we crowded around him to make sure. And then he left. Didn't do much. I'm probably paid him like $5. If it was a bigger sum, he would have probably stuck around and more or less damaged our signs and equipment. But he didn't. And he showed no remorse for the fact that there was police around. So, Scientology, I have a message for you if you're watching this. Why do you have to be so desperate just to actually try and use violence via a third party to stop a peaceful demonstration exposing your abuses and deception? Why must you do that? Oh yeah, that's right. That's part of Hubbard's letters and policies. That's right. And David Miscavige's orders. Not to mention your goon goofed off and failed to use his OT powers to stop us. Violence is not OT. You should be able to use your mind to stop us, but unfortunately that didn't work. And even though the guy was a fucking gorilla, it didn't work. And he fucked off. Back onto the subway. Goodbye. That was for him. Other than that, the protest went well. I shouted Wendy's name, and I said Phil Jones misses you many times. Along with flunk, start, and when they had their speeches, many times they were interrupted. The word flunk actually worked. They stopped, they looked around, and they continued. So, all in all, this recap, while it is a bit long, describes how great the protest was. A bit of action, a bit of calmness, semi-boring to a point until we moved to the populated area, and great support from the Christian groups that were, yes, street preachers. Great support from them. That, I applaud them. Anyways, thank you. And the next protest, stay tuned. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.